All right, okay.
Okay. I am going to call the Issaquah Human Services Commission meeting of November 15th to order. And do we have any public comments that either came in by email or however?
Yes, we do not have any public comments for today. However, I just want to note here some commissioner absence. So we have Huma, who is gone this evening for an excused absence. And we have Rucker, who is online joining us, who is present here. Also, Preston was not able to make it, our youth representative. And then Jaime is on his way. That should be everyone.
Okay, thank you. I'll remember to give you space.
No, that's totally fine. And then, sorry, I want to also note here too, we have Kayla, who is our human services intern, who's also joining us online.
Great.
And then Elaine, I hear our other student intern.
Absolutely. Great. Wonderful. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is approval of the October 18th minutes. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I motion that we approve the October minutes.
Anybody want a second? Is there any discussion? Okay, everybody that approves, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody doesn't approve? Okay, it looks like they passed unanimously. Thank you. Okay, we're moving right into our agenda items. Culture-specific human services. And I'm going to hand it to you.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. We are excited to invite some of our human services nonprofit organizations. Just to kind of remind folks, early on this year, one of the work plan items as a commission was to start visiting some of these organizations or have some presentations to learn more about these organizations. Since we fund 42 programs, we figured it'd be hard to see all of them. So as a commission, we all decided that we'd focus on the cultural specific organizations that applied, whether they received funding or not through Issaquah, to learn more about their organizations. And so this evening, we are inviting some of those organizations. We are looking forward to learning more about their services, how they serve Issaquah residents. And it's an opportunity for you to also ask questions. So I just want to invite you all as they do their presentation to leave your questions till the end. So with that, I am going to welcome our first presentation. We have Faye Keen from Kin on Healthcare Center. If you, Faye, if you want to go ahead and share your screen now, we'd love for you to introduce yourself and say hi.
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening.
Hello.
Can you see me? Can you see the screen?
We can see you and your PowerPoint.
Okay, you can, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, do you want me to start now?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, hi everyone. So it's good to meet everyone here tonight. My name is Faye Chen. I'm the Wellness and Social Service Director at Kin on Healthcare Center. And so this is the agenda for tonight. It's very simple, okay? So first of all, I just want to share about this Kin on Continent of Care. So as you know, we are a healthcare center. We provide a whole range of services to seniors. So we have residential option, including adult family home, assisted living, and skilled nursing. And we have short-term medical rehabilitation to help people recover after surgery. And we have assistance to help people live successfully at home. And also we give opportunity for people to volunteer and give to support the community. And but tonight I want to focus more on the education and classes to help senior to stay active and informed, because my department is doing this part here. And this is our vision for my department. We want to build the best Asian senior healthy living community in Washington State, and our clients are all Asian seniors. And how do we do that? We use healthy living programs and social services to achieve that. And first of all, I want to talk about healthy living program. So Keen Healthy Living Program aims to keep adult age 50 plus socially, mentally, and physically active and engaged as they age. And we provide this activity in person in 2 locations, in Seattle, in Belleville. But we also have lots of online classes. So during COVID time, many people stay online to join our classes, and it still go on. Okay. And these are some of our classes here. So we have fitness, wellness program, technology, health education workshop, art and craft, social events, and Medicare. Okay. And our next slide. So here I just want to, one of our fitness program is called Enhanced Fitness. It is a low-cost, evidence-based group exercise and force prevention program that helps older adults at all levels of fitness become more active, energized, and empowered. And over 99% of participants say they would recommend Enhanced Fitness to a friend. This program is proven to improve physical function, decrease depression, protect against falls and fall injury, provide a social benefit, promote a physically active lifestyle, reduce medical care utilization costs, decrease unplanned hospitalization, decrease mortality rates. And Grace is one of our participants. This is her story. I just want to share with you guys. She attended Enhanced Fitness with us for the past 5 years and has witnessed tremendous improvements in her overall health and physical well-being. She told us proudly that her daughter was amazed by the increased density in her 81-year-old bones. She even encouraged her 6 brothers and sisters who are all 70-plus-year-old to join. So the next service I want to share is social services. So we help seniors and the family members caring for them. Okay, and so we provide family caregiver support program. We do assessment for caregivers and care recipient. We also do care planning and consultation, information and referral services. We provide caregiver education, Alzheimer and dementia support, counseling, in-home care service. And all these services are provided by our social worker. They are all bilingual. And for this program, it's free for those who are 18 plus and caring for someone, but they are not being compensated. And also we provide lots of evidence-based workshops. For example, chronic disease self-management class, hypertension class, diabetes self-management class, and aging mastery. This is a new one we just started recently. And just want to share with you, this is Peter's story. So he is one of our participants who joined our program, Family Caregiver Support Program. And this is what he said. He said, Family Caregiver Support Program has provided him with support, which is needed to find resources such as affordable housing, healthcare providers, and rental assistance. He really appreciates Keen staff as they are compassionate, knowledgeable, and efficient. And also want to share with you some of the events we had this year. So Keen had 2 public events. One is the Lunar New Year celebration in February, and also Senior Day in August. So just want to share with you some of the picture and highlight. So this is a Lunar New Year celebration in February. So you can see we have lion dance, and we have performances, and we have some cultural activity to celebrate Lunar New Year. So for the Keen Senior Day, we hosted in Redmond this year. So over 300 people came. So this is so we have performances here. So over 300 people came, and we have senior people performing on that day. They really like it, yeah. And also some fun activity like painting, calligraphy. And we also have information booth hosted by some nonprofit organization and other government agency. They came and gave information to the public, to many seniors. And also we have workshop. And also I remember we have injection booth. We collaborate with ICHS. They came and gave COVID shot to our seniors on that day too. Yeah. Also want to mention some of the collaboration we have right now. This is quite new. We recently collaborate with Bellevue Mini City Hall to provide one-on-one tech help to the community. And also with the North Bellevue Community Center to give out evidence-based workshop to the community. And we were already trained by UW Memory Hub to raise public awareness of dementia. And we are working with Alzheimer's Association to increase awareness and understanding of Alzheimer's dementia in Asian community. These are some of the numbers in 2022. So we have 378 active members and 14,252 participants join our programs, and 1,818 classes provided, and 2,073.5 hours spent by our 49 volunteers. And 102 individuals receive family caregiver support. So this is about all. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Faye.
Okay.
Thanks, Faye.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Faye about? Wonderful, thank you.
Hey, I'm curious about how potential how people find out about your organization.
Actually, we have a website, and also because we do lots of workshop at different locations. So this is how people know about us, also by word of mouth. I think most of the Asian seniors kind of know about us, Keen On, because we are I have to say, we are the only Asian nursing home and assisted living home in Washington State. And beside the nursing home, we also provide community wellness. So my department is kind of doing the outreach. So we are trying to partner with different city, like city of Bellevue, city of Seattle. Yeah, so that's how people get to know us. And also I personally, me and my co-workers, we attended many fairs recently, like the government fairs. So we have booth. Yeah, we host booth there, so provide information. Yeah.
Thank
I hope
you.
I answer your question. Yeah.
Hey, Maury Edwards here. I'm wondering if you have any demographics on how many people are coming from the Issaquah Valley that are using your facilities.
Yeah, good question. So I don't have the number on top of my head, but the number I share is kind of including people on the east side, Bellevue, Redmond, Issaquah, even Sammamish and Seattle. So I don't have the breakdown right now. I can go back and double check. But because of the limitation of our funding resource, if we can, get more funding from the city of Issaquah, I mean, we can kind of come to Issaquah to provide some kind of activity and workshop. Right now, we are only providing activity in person in 2 locations, Seattle and Bellevue. So I believe maybe some came and also some stay online to join our programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Faye. I have 2 questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The first one is, so I appreciate the willingness to come to Issaquah. Have you connected at all with our senior center ever in the past?
Not yet, but this is my plan. Because I'm quite new to this role. I just started working at Keen On in January. So my plan is to come to Issaquah, to connect to seniors in Issaquah. Yeah. Actually, we have connection with Sammamish already. Yeah, we are providing services to city of Sammamish. Yeah, because we got a grant, a small grant from the city of Sammamish. So
Yeah. Well, that's something to consider if you are interested in moving some services into Issaquah in the future. I would love to get you connected with our senior center staff. We have a very active senior center. I'm always impressed with the just the wonderful events that they have, the different activities that they have. So I could see a great partnership there if there's future services in Issaquah. Then the other thing I wanted to, more so statement, wanted to invite you we often have 2 resource fairs throughout the year.
Oh, awesome.
I would be, knowing that you like to do booths, I'll be sure to add you to our information, but usually they are in July
Okay.
during a chalk art event, as well as in September during the Welcome Week event. So
Oh, I see.
I'll be sure to include you in that communication.
Okay, that will be awesome. Really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thanks, commissioners. I appreciate that time. Any other questions for Faye? Okay, wonderful. Well, we really appreciate your time. Great presentation. And I'm sure we'll be in touch soon.
Yeah, stay connected. Thank you, Hannah. Really appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Faye.
Thank you, Faye.
All right. Wonderful. Okay, give me just a minute. I'm gonna have our next presenter transition her to presenter. All right. Well, next we have Laura from Issaquah Schools Foundation. So hi, Laura. We can see
Hi.
you. You should have access now to share your screen if you want to introduce yourself, and feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. Just trying to see how should I share my screen. Can you see my screen?
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Ni. I am the current ISF Issaquah Schools Foundation Culture Bridges lead editor. I don't know if any of you ever heard of Culture Bridges programs from Issaquah School Foundation. So first let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm actually born and grew up in Shanghai, China. But I came to US to study my undergraduate and master in Michigan. My major is in computer science and AI data retrieval, and I work for an online content retrieval company for daily publishing as a retrieval manager for 8 years. After that, I'm mostly involved in the PTA board work, as well as right now I'm on different board, PTSA board, and also be the member of the council board. I started work with Alicia, our previous former Culture Bridges manager, at 2020, and mainly to focusing on as the magazine editing and the publishing job. So our Issaquah School District demographic, the past 20 years, the demographic has dramatically changed. From like 2002, we have 85 white students versus 15 students of color. But right now, 2020, based on 2022-23 data, we now have 42 white students versus 58 students of color. So that means, and it's about like 30% of families actually in Issaquah are not born in US. They are foreign born. So the needs to share the resource like Issaquah community resources and Issaquah School District information to all those families with different culture is really necessary and really important. So about the culture bridges, at the beginning, it's really started with two Latino families. They want to help their Spanish families to understand what's the resources existing in the Issaquah, and also what's the programs and what the school looks like in the Issaquah School District. So I don't want to go through all this detailed history, but want to let you know this is like starting in 2013, and then 2014 we started with Spanish and English magazines. And then we expanded to 4 different languages, and we start to have 3 bi-monthly Spanish-English magazine. And then we expanded again to have 2018, we have 6 different languages to provide it to our Issaquah School District families. And we started to provide 1 annual family guide to tell people about Issaquah School District programs and a school system, and then 2 quarterly magazine with 6 language versions. So, and then also at the same time, we helped Issaquah School District to build up all those family events to help all those families from different countries to come to our workshop, to come to our events. And we provide translations and to help them to understand what's the different programs that provided to navigate the Issaquah School District more frequently and easily. And 2020, we added 1 more language in our magazine, which is Japanese, because we realized the population, the Japanese population, is increased by that year. So we added, become 7 different languages. We still publish 3 quarterly magazines. And that year, also, it's the pandemic year. We still help Issaquah School District hosting 14 different Zoom events, and then providing translations, help the people to supporting the vaccination clinics to different culture groups. And last year, 2022, we actually adding 1 more Arabic language in our magazine. And then we publish 3 quarterly magazines with 8 different languages plus 1 family guide, yearly family guide about Issaquah School District. At the same time, we do still expand to help with the Issaquah School District Family Partnership team with 20 plus events and help to host it at low-income communities like Spanish communities or any other low-income communities. And right now, we have 8 different editors and 1 cover designer and myself. We publish all the magazines online and talking about all different Issaquah community resources from different organizations. And also we publish the school programs and then family need information like mental health, all those information we translated into 8 different languages. As you can see, this is this year's family guide on the right side, and this is our most recent CB25 issues, which talking about from mental health to the middle school programs and to special education and also to the PTSA programs. So including so many different things. As for the cultural navigation and one-on-one support, in the past couple years, we do have supported so many families. About like 2021, 2022, we supported about 300 families with 30 minutes call each year. This year, from January to June, we still have about 27 family calls to different families. However, because Alicia's leaving and then she has her own nonprofit organization to supporting the family, especially supporting those families, we decided as the Issaquah School Foundation, we no longer do one-on-one support to the family. And also because the ISD have all their family liaisons. So we decided and no longer do the one-on-one support anymore. But we still help supporting the ISD family events. Annually, we help with 15 to 20 plus events, and we reach almost 2,000 families around the district. And based on the current EVP data, the language preference other than English, the family selected, there are about like 400 Spanish-speaking families, 300 Chinese families, 120 Korean families, and 70 Russian families. We all know this number is really not much lower than the reality, but that is just give you a insight that there is a need to spreading the words to different language into different language and supporting all those different groups in our Issaquah community. So for almost, as I just said, for almost 8 years, Culture Bridges has supported ISD family events and helped with hundreds of individual families. And we are actually, as the Issaquah School Foundation, we're the pilot program and work closely with ISD, while the ISD doesn't really have any cultural and family partnership department. But now with Issaquah School District has its own cultural and family partnership team, and they are pretty mature, and their family events has been expanded and well known, as well as their 3 liaisons are actively working with ISD families. So as the Issaquah Schools Foundation, like other pilot programs, we want to reduce the redundant work. So Culture Bridges, right now, we revisit our mission and goal and decided to discontinue with the one-on-one support and put our focus back on the online magazine publishing. But we want to continue to be a resource for all the family in Issaquah School District and Issaquah community to be able to understand the district more and navigations through the Issaquah school system and also all those community resources in multiple languages, in 8 different languages. So we also continue work closely with Issaquah School District Cultural and Family Partnership team and supporting their family events by helping broadcasting to different culture groups, as well as physically supporting them, showing some the translation work. Culture Bridges, we also continue publishing the community resources from Issaquah communities. And then before 2022, we actually have lots of printing out all the languages in our paper copy. We actually print over 4,250 copies. 2,000 in English, 1,000 in Spanish, 1,000 Chinese, 250 in Korean, 250 Russian and Vietnamese, Japanese, and Arabic. We send all those copies to all the ISD schools, and all the English language learners will get our printed magazine by their own languages or their preferred languages. And we also sending the paper copy to community centers, libraries, international stores. The magazine also distributed in all the family events. So the partnership, the district cultural and family partnership liaison also help us to give the magazine to the families that they assist. The PTSA face coordinators from all the schools distribute magazines in the events that they offer for new parents and for their cultural and international fairs. So, but unfortunately, we are now only we stopped printing the paper copy And then we only publish our online version since the end of last year. However, we felt like the online version can spread more, expand it more, and then attract more audience than the paper copies can go to. So in the past 6 months, our online version has over 90,000 impressions and over 12,000 reads for our whatever the magazines or the articles. And we have the ability to send in all this online version to the ISD communication departments, all different language learner team, different district team, as well as all the community library. We can still send in to the libraries, to the communities. And then we're using the social media to reach out to different cultural groups. And currently, our publishing cycle, we still publish 3 quarterly online version magazines and 1 yearly family guides. So the cycle with allocation of time for me is 20 hours per week, and our editors actually work more than 30 hours per issues to help us translating into 8 different languages. And as you can see, we still work with all those community partners and resources. We publishing their information, their events, and their activities in our magazines, and we help advertise their programs, and we help people. We publish the article about them in the magazine to help different culture groups to understand and realize there is a resources in our community. Thank you. This is my presentation. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, Laura, thank you for your presentation. This is Mary Brown. Your funding, is it only through the city, or do you get anything from state or federal or what?
So for the culture bridges, right now we only got the funding from Issaquah, city of Issaquah. But for the ISF, we do have other grants opportunity, but just for the culture bridges, we right now we only have the funding grants from the city of Issaquah.
Thank you.
Laura, this is Trish. I just have a general question. And we've been hearing this a lot, how international our community has become over the years. Now, is Issaquah any different than any of our neighboring communities?
Yes. So as I just mentioned, that there is actually in Issaquah, there's about 30% of families are not born in U.S., which means like foreign born. This is the number actually relatively higher, much higher than our neighboring communities. If you see the King County statistics, the number of King County, our number actually is surprisingly higher than others.
Oh,
Interesting.
thank you.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, this is Manny again. Now you mentioned that the school district started their own cultural foundation. Is that?
No, it's just really it's called Cultural and Family Partnership Team, which mostly they deal with is to help the new families that register to the Issaquah School District to help them to enroll or understanding how to enroll Issaquah School District and how to navigate programs. And they they just do the one-on-one, the liaison do the one-on-one to help each families. And then their events is mostly talking about is what's the programs that district provided, and to let them understanding better what is the school system looks like. So it's really different focus. They mostly is focusing on their school families that attending their schools. But for Cultural Bridges, we want to really, our targeting population is the entire, not only the ISD, but entire Issaquah communities.
Thank you. I asked the question because I was just wondering why there's redundancy in that area, but you cleared that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that group that you're talking about, is that under the equity?
Yes.
Yeah, it's under the
Yes.
equity.
Yes. It's really so that's to say, like Cultural Bridges really help them to help the district to start this equity department and started this cultural and family partnership team. We actually work together very closely together to build up this team and make it more mature. And now it looks like very, everybody they have 3 liaisons. They know how to help the families. So that as our Cultural Bridges, we really want to do and also it's meet our foundation's goal is to facing the entire community, all the families. So and our we'll say based on the budget and then all this like the everything like to control the budgeting and also to maximize the efforts for this magazine. We want to really put more efforts on the magazine to help all the families in the community, and we know there is a need for them to understand or to how to navigate, to tell them how to where is the resources, community resources they can find in their own language.
Laura, Maury Edwards here. I'm wondering, how do we access, if we want to look at the magazines? Is there a website we go to?
Yes. So we have a website under Issaquah School Foundation main website. If you navigate to their ISFDN website, and there is a program. If you click the program menu, there is a Cultural Bridges webpage there. And also you can like us on the Facebook and also on the Instagram.
Thank you.
Commissioner, so like that, is access to this magazine free or is there a charge associated with it?
Everything is free. So everybody can access our magazines. Anybody that they can understand all those 8 languages, they can access our magazine without any cost.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and then the thing, I want to also right now just share a really small story. Like when I say I want all the every families to realize this is a really great resource for them. There is one day when in the WeChat group, when Chinese parent asking in the group, what's one of the curriculum, the flash curriculum, what's the flash curriculum that ISD offered. And to my surprise, the other parent, Chinese parent, refer Cultural Bridges article, one of Cultural Bridge magazine article flash in Chinese to that parent. So that is really something that I see as the goal is to let those people can use their language to tell their community there is a resource available in our community.
Thank you, Laura. What a great example. Really appreciate the information as the Foundation Cultural Bridges has gone through some transition. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks. Yes.
There's anything else for Laura?
Very informative. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks.
All right, and very timely, we have Lolita joining us from Indian American, excuse me, Community Services. Welcome. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Hannah, for inviting me. And hello, everyone. I'm Lalita Opala. As Hannah mentioned, I've met some of you at North Bellevue Community Center. I think when you visited our program, I go by she, her. And it's an honor to be here. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the Indian American immigrant refugee community, particularly the community that does come from the city of Issaquah. And thank you so much for supporting our work with providing support services for seniors, for women, for youth in our community, for providing that support for our cultural navigation, as well as the mental health and small business work that we do. And Hannah, if I can have that presentation for the group here. Thank you. Great. So, and we can go to the next slide, Hannah. Thank you. And actually, just a little bit on our mission. We are a community-based organization that is 39 years of service in King County, providing support services for our community. 35 of those 39 years, we were volunteer run 100%. And it has only been in the last 4 or 5 years that we have really stepped up to capacity build. I am the first executive director for that organization, and we have 4 other people on staff, as well as a few contractors who are there part-time, along with our many instructors for our wellness program. And Hannah, if we can move to the next slide. So I just want to give you these are our 2022 numbers, of course, and wanted to give you just a brief perspective on who we are and how we are the one-stop safe space for our community to reach out to, because we operate out of different pop-up centers. We don't have a community center of our own. We do have our office that is based in Together Center, Redmond, and we operate on different days of the week in the different cities, from Bellevue to Redmond, Sammamish. We have a Far East presence with Issaquah Senior Center and Mount Si, and we also operate 2 days in a month in the city of Kent. And that is how we have discovered that we can have a daily touch point with our community. We also provide outreach to the community through a welcome desk in the Redmond Library, as well as in Crossroads Mall on Wednesdays. And outreach really provides us those connections and helps us build trust with our community. The other part being our staff is 100% community run. Our board is 100% from our community and extremely diverse, with 2 young adults from the second generation that we have. And we have LGBTQ senior, as well as women and small business representation in our board. So looking at what kind of services we provide, we go from early childhood to youth, to women's career services and senior support services. We are centered on wellness. And a lot of the work that we do is to connect with community by providing wellness programs, by offering mental health support groups, and culturally nuanced systems of mental health support, by offering free legal clinics, as well as support for our domestic violence clients, doing a lot of emergency rent assistance and basic needs, as well as vocational training to women in our community, and addressing the needs of our seniors, from isolation to health insurance and transportation, to really connecting in intergenerational programming with offering program for early childhood, as well as the youth in the same, as well as our seniors in the same space. With our youth, we have youth program that's year-round that meets on a weekly basis on weekends, and the youth participate in leadership and training projects. They do a lot of mental health, first aid programming. They work on peer tutoring, where they do tutor, they reach across to the 4C Coalition and work with our Black youth in providing peer tutoring program, and they learn from each other with that. So each year, our youth actually design their leadership program, and they identify the areas of advocacy and the areas of leadership they would like to train in. Part of the reason we do that is we want that weekly touch point with our youth, because we want to identify what are the gaps in supporting our youth. Do they know where the resources for mental health support are? Do they know what kind of dinner table conversations they want to have at their family tables? Do they understand how to broach that conversation on gender and on LGBTQ and mental health or academic peer pressure? How do they bring that up at home? And where are those resources that their parents can turn to? So there's a lot of nuanced work that happens by having those daily touch points through social programming or cultural programming that we provide. And with that, we actually have a network of mental health providers who are from our community. We have a network of attorneys who provide us those low bono rates so we can run free legal clinics. And that's just a gist of what we do. And moving on, Hannah, to the next slide. So this really gives you, each of these slides that I've set up really provide the different support services that we offer from early childhood. As I've mentioned, doing a lot of developmental screening. We are funded by the Best Starts for Kids King County to do that for our community, to going down to the youth leadership program that we talked about. And moving to the next one, Hannah. With small businesses, we have found over COVID that our small businesses did not quite recover from COVID in revenue. And so there's a lot of technical assistance and marketing the opportunities that we provide our small business, particularly the micro enterprise cohorts that we identify who are under 5 employee businesses and who do not have significant annual revenue, who are struggling to pay those bills, struggling for that roof over their head, because our small businesses haven't recovered from COVID, and they are primarily in the childcare, restaurant, food, retail kind of areas. With our seniors, we do provide those weekly pop-ups programming that I talked about, where our seniors connect over wellness programming, having yoga as their centerfold, where they discover friendships that they would not have had before if they had not reached out to these pop-up centers. And there they have an opportunity to see the different resources that are available for them when and if they need. And as an example, in the last, in 2022 itself, we had at least 56 seniors reaching out to us for emergency food services. And that 50 out of those, there were 13 seniors who lived in the city of Issaquah and did reach out to us. And I will tell you that very often South Asian community is considered privileged, considered economically powerful, is a tech working community. Well, how is it that on an annual basis we provide emergency rent assistance equivalent to at least 200,000 to single women who are domestic violence clients, and we provide food and basic needs assistance as well as income eligible mental health support to seniors in our community. So part of this is, who are those individuals who live in those layers of our community, who are either women who are coming out of abusive relationships and trying to find a place of their own, or who are those tech workers who are subcontractors and don't quite, they're single income earners. They cannot afford a home in East King County. They cannot afford to live in, they live in crowded apartments and cannot really afford to buy that home. But on the other hand, are struggling with that income with extended families that are not quite 2 or 3 member or 4 member families. Rather, they have 6 to 7 member members, right? So how do they support these members, and how do our seniors struggle to find a place in those families? How do they discover what connections they can have when they are so isolated and do not have access to transportation? Because we all know that access and bus services have longer than acceptable wait times at this point. So moving on to the next slide. And I just wanted to focus a little more today on our crisis services to identify to you the truly nuanced layers that are there in the Asian Indian American refugee community. And we can actually move to the next slide too, Hannah, because I think I have a deeper dive into that. So with the legal services, the way we have set them up, we have these low bono legal clinics where our attorneys are paid low bono rates, and we have 0 wait time for free legal clinics for our clients who experience domestic violence. And there are several of our clients who come from Sammamish, Issaquah, Redmond, and Bellevue. On an average, we have 5 to 6 legal clinics a week. We are not able to meet that demand, right? 5 to 6 legal clinics have at least 12 members who come in for counseling from that attorney. And of those, at least 3 in a week come from the city of Issaquah. And on an average, in an unique number of clients that reach out to us for domestic violence from the city of Issaquah, in 2022, we had 41 domestic violence clients who did reach out. And those are only the ones that actually reach out to us. They are not the ones who do not reach out to us and who live in those kind of situations because of the stigma. So here in case, I am pointing out to you that we are not the privileged, economically powerful immigrant community that is stereotyped as individuals with tech jobs and comfortable incomes. Even individuals with tech jobs, when they are subcontractors, they bring home 75 to 80K a year. And 75 to 80K, while that is a significant income for many individuals, it does not really offer you the opportunity to thrive in a city or in East King County where affordability of homes is pretty high. So coming back to crisis services, thank you, Hannah. Oh, you're good. Coming back to crisis services, the need for free legal clinics, the fact that we cannot accommodate them, and then that do you simply offer that legal clinic and walk away? No. As an organization, we have mental health providers. We offer free mental health counseling as well as support groups, and our counseling is free of cost for income eligible clients. We cover that cost for them. We offer support groups that are culturally nuanced. We make sure that the basic needs of food, medical, and roof over your head are covered for domestic violence clients who particularly are in that income range that we can cover their needs. Talking about U visa, for an average domestic violence client, when they step into that space with a legal clinic, they also have to more often than not file for a U visa because they are on a dependent visa. And when they step out of that abusive relationship, they either have to go home to a very stigmatized society, or they have to find an independent life here in America. And for that, they have to file a U visa. Average cost of a U visa is $10,000. An average retainer that an attorney asks you to put down is anywhere from $7,000 to $8,000. How does someone who is working in a grocery store or who does not have work permits and has to actually file for that U visa, apply and take care of their basic needs through this? So just giving you some of those basic needs as well as crisis needs that we offer. In addition to that, we actually offer a women's career services program where we have volunteer mentors who work with women in our community to identify what their strengths are, help them partner with vocational training institutes like Lake Washington Vocational Training College or Bellevue College or Green River Community College. We've also identified certain institutes which provide certified nursing aid training and found that the lowest hanging fruit for our crisis clients is to get trained if they can and if they wish to as a CNA, which is a certified nursing aid. It costs $800 and in 12 weeks you come out as a CNA if you are certified, if you can take that test to become certified. And that client is always clubbed with a mentor so that they can actually go through that CNA training with the help of this mentor, come out certified, and then we help place them in either an assisted living center or with another agency where they can potentially make $30 to $32 an hour, which is a far higher hourly rate than $15 an hour or $10 an hour on cash jobs in grocery stores. So that's our big hope is through the Women's Crisis Program and Women's Career Services Program. We identify low-hanging fruit in terms of training crisis clients so they can earn decent wages or honorable wages. And we can go on to the next slide, Hannah. So this pretty much shows you the rise in the number of clients that we've had, particularly in the crisis area from 2019 to 2022. You can see the gray bar, which is 2022 for legal clinics, for rent assistance, for food assistance, for mental health support, that they are absolutely going up by the year, partly because of the support that we get from cities like you, as well as the increase in awareness. And the need has always been there. How have we amplified our services is more partly because of the support we have received from you. So thank you for that. And we can move to the next slide, Hannah. This is just a quick peek into who we are. Our senior programming, which meets as a pop-up center. Moving to the next one. Women's Career Services and a mentor who is working with some of our clients. And the next slide. That's our early childhood program, meeting the fire department and discovering safety sessions. To the next one. Our youth group that is going out to do restoration projects, and during their time in these projects, they develop bonds, they do peer natural helper training that helps them understand what it means to be good peers to each other. And moving to the next slide. Another sample of our crisis client sitting down with a mentor. And the next slide. This is our senior youth intergenerational space where meditative art is being instructed by one of our community artists. We do these often on weekends where our youth come together with our seniors and gives our seniors an opportunity to discover conversation with the youth so that they can take those conversations home to their grandchildren, because oftentimes we hear from our seniors how there is so much silence in the home when you go back because you don't have a conversation topic to have with your grandchildren. And this gives them an opportunity to discover more about youth who are bicultural, as well as an opportunity to learn how to have that communication with their grandchildren. It also gives our youth an opportunity to develop those relationships with seniors in our community. So that's pretty much a quick, that's actually our night market, which happens annually in June, where we provide space and platform to at least 50 to 60 of our small businesses. And the last night market we had in June 2023, we had over 5,500 community members who reached out and attended this night market, where they met with several of our small businesses. And a requirement for our small businesses to participate in an event like this is they had to have a UBI, they had to have a business license, they had to have a catering license. So some of it is you get that platform with us if you comply in the regulatory compliance area. So I think I'm done with that, but I'll open for questions. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lolita. Commissioners, any questions?
Like I said, this is Manny. We've met, and I'll say it again. Wow. So, especially for the size of staff you have, you guys do amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's so good to see you.
Well, it truly was a wonderful presentation. Are
Yes.
you commissioners?
Yes.
Any questions or details that you're interested in?
Really a complete presentation.
Well, we know how to reach out to you. We know where to reach you.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
Lolita, thank you for pulling some Issaquah numbers and some specific information. I think that was really
Sure.
helpful
And
for us all here.
absolutely.
Lolita, if we have further questions, can we go to iacs.org or what's your website?
It is iacswa.org, and that pretty much has content that describes the different programs we have. However, if you need any further details on where those are happening, or if you'd like to visit, or if you need any numbers for the city of Issaquah, please do reach out to me. And I think Hannah has our email, and I can even take some time to do one-on-one meetings if you need to.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
happy
you
to
so
share. All right, Lolita. Well, that wraps up your presentation. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank
Enjoy
you. Good
the rest
night.
of your evening.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. Well, we have one more presentation. I'd like to invite Nikki. I think I have you here from MAPS MCRC.
Hi,
Oh.
this is actually Kizza Sheriff.
Hello?
One of the. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We just only see your background, living room picture. That's
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was working. I don't know what happened here. Hang on a second.
Is it on looking out instead of looking?
Huh. No, it's pretty. Okay, hang on a second. I've always had trouble with Zoom. So okay. How about now?
You
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
you.
All right. All right. Cool. All right. I've always had trouble with Teams. So my name is Kizza Sheriff. I'm the co-founder of MCRC, and I'm here to talk about that. Nikki asked me to step in and help present. I believe, Hannah, we sent you the deck. Did you get that?
I don't know if I did. Let me look at
Yeah,
it.
we sent it last night.
Oh,
It would have come from me.
all right. Let me pull it up. Let me see.
Okay, if not, I'll have it handy so I can share.
Happy to share it. Okay, thanks for your patience, everyone.
Did you get it?
I apologize. I'm not seeing it.
Okay.
You can resend it to me right now, or if you want, I can give you access to share your screen. You have a preference?
Why don't I send it to you because give me a second. I'm gonna email it to you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it has gone. So from me. So okay. Can you send me the right email, please, again?
Yes. If it's amazing. It's Hannah, HANNAHR at issaquah.gov. Here, I'll put it in the chat for you. Thanks everyone for your patience, Raleigh.
HANNAHR at Issaquah.
Wadaka. There you go. Still looking through my, just in case.
Did you check your spam?
I know that's what I'm wondering.
Sometimes it takes a minute.
It's on its way.
Okay, thank you. Really appreciate it, there.
Yeah. So while the presentation is coming through, let me just tell you a little bit about MCRC. It stands for Muslim Community Resource Center, and we are the social and humanitarian program of MAPS, the Muslim Association of Puget Sound, which is the largest mosque here in Western Washington. Nikki, who's my wife, also is the founder and CEO, and I'm also a director, and I'm a co-founder with MCRC. So a little bit about MCRC. We've been here we've been serving the community here for almost 15 plus years. And we offer a portfolio of services, a wide portfolio of services that starts from rental support to transitional housing for single women, to emergency rental assistance, to food programs, a free medical clinic, a free legal clinic. We have a senior programs for single women. We have counseling services. There's a whole suite of interconnected services that we offer through MCRC, and the services are free and open to anyone in need. We don't have geographical boundaries. We do not discriminate based on any criteria. So our services are open and free to all. We are located at the Together Center here in Redmond. We have clients who are coming in from different East Side cities, plus all the way from south, from Federal Way, all the way north, through to Linwood, Bothell, and Everett. So thank you. You have the slides. So if you can go to the next next slide. It's really MCRC is inspired by our Islam. If you go to the one slide before, it's inspired by our Islamic faith that teaches us to love for humanity what you love for yourself. I mean, that's really what inspires us and what drives us and motivates us to serve the community. If you go to the next slide, I think I was starting to touch on this a little bit briefly. So we have a whole portfolio of interconnected services, and I'll talk a little bit about all of our services. I also talked about no limitation by location, right? Unlike some service providers where you have to be within certain zip codes to be able to get services, we serve clients across the broader Puget Sound area to the best extent we can. As long as we are able to, we try to help them in whatever capacity we can. Our access, we have a low barrier access to our services. Our intake process is designed to be quick and easy, and we pride ourselves with quick turnaround. Turn around within 24 to 48 hours. It's all about human dignity. We don't want people to kind of having to come back again and again saying, hey, what happened to my request? What's going on? So we pride ourselves with quick turnaround. And again, we believe in partnerships. So we have a slew of partners that we work with. So if we are unable to help them, we pick up the phone and actually do a warm handoff to a potential partner and who can help serve this client. And last but not the least, one of the things that we are able to do is to serve people in a culturally appropriate manner. Our volunteers come from over 35 different countries, and our staff speaks many languages, so we can relate to clients' unique cultural and linguistic situation, especially with refugee demographics. That's something that we found a lot, or people who are coming from different social backgrounds, maybe from they're coming from Afghanistan or Iraq or any one of these places. So the social and cultural context is so important, and they feel very comfortable talking to our case manager and the staff because they share the same background. And if you go to the next slide, Again, I already talked about that, right? We don't discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, or any other distinguishing factors. We are also listed on the King County 211 hotline. We get a lot of referrals, from the King County 211 emergency hotline for food and gas cards and rental assistance, emergency utility assistance, and everything else. We get a lot of referrals through that. And from a funding, we're grateful for the city of Issaquah who funds some of our programs. We've got some Eastside Human Services grants now from a few of the Eastside cities, as well as some from the South King County. But a lot primary the source of donation for us is through individual contributors, our individual donors, and our community members. Again, inspired by what our faith teaches us about loving for humanity, what we love for ourselves. This is an opportunity to put our faith in action. So a lot of our primary donors are our community members who donate generously to the work of MCRC. Please, if you go to the next slide. So again, this is a set of programs that we offer, right? From food programs. So we have we serve at 8 different shelters across the east side, hot meals. We also have a program for non-perishable food. We have something called food and gas cards. I mean, our clients actually termed it lifesaver cards because it really changes people's lives. We provide these gas cards or cards that can be used for either food or gas. And we've seen a lot of clients who come in who are unable to go to a job interview because they don't have gas for the car, coming into our office and picking up a $25 gas card so that they can fill up their gas tank so that they actually go to an interview, and it changes their lives. And actually, some of our clients have renamed this program to be our lifesaver program. So we call it our lifesaver cards, right? So it's especially with the price of gas and the number of people who don't have access to this kind of services. This is one of our biggest programs that we run. Housing services, we have six shelters, transitional housing for single women, where we provide socially and culturally appropriate safe haven for single women who are trying to build their lives. We focus primarily on eviction prevention. If someone has we realize how expensive it is to get back on your feet if you already have been evicted from the home. So we try our best to prevent eviction from happening. So whether it's us helping for the full extent of that, or whatever is due for the eviction, or working in coalition with a bunch of other partners to prevent a family from being evicted, we focus on that. We also have a program where if someone is fleeing domestic abuse situation or some other situation where they don't have housing, but there's something coming up in the near future. We also have a program for motel vouchers. We're able to provide 3 to 5 nights emergency motel vouchers so they can go have a safe place to stay until they sort out their housing arrangements. Our refugee service program is another big, large program that we operate. I mean, it was just over the last few years with all of the influx of refugees from Iraq, from Syria, now and Afghanistan and Ukraine. That's a huge program that we offer. We have our own furniture warehouse that's also located in Redmond. Families can come in, pick up furniture or any other household items that they may need. We have we have a program to match refugees with local families to get them back on the feet and provide them mentorship and support. So we do all of that. In the middle, we have our community health clinic. It's a free health clinic that operates. During COVID, it was operating online, but now we've reverted back to a in-person clinic that along with a coalition of partners, we operate that clinic. The clinic happens here in Redmond. We see clients who are underinsured, uninsured, visiting parents, anyone who needs access to free medical care. the community health clinic provides that. Along as part of the clinic, we also provide a lot of emotional wellness consultations. It's a free service. They get connected to a emotional wellness consultant for behavioral health. If they're facing with substance abuse or anything at all, we are able to provide that basic triage and basic consultation when families are struggling with behavioral and emotional issues. One of the only service here, the two services here, one of the two services here that is most only for Muslims here is our funeral services. Because a lot of our in the Muslim community, when people pass away, there's some religious rituals that need to be performed, plus also assistance with the cost of, providing the funeral services. So we provide funeral services also at our location. We have a legal clinic. It's online, and we're going to switch back to a regular in-person clinic. We partner with King County Neighborhood Legal Clinics, as well as with another partner called MILA, Middle Eastern Law Association, and we provide a whole portfolio of free legal consults around family law, immigration law, housing disputes, wills and estate planning. It's open to anyone. And then this is the second service that we offer that is mostly for Muslims, is around around marriage services, around counseling and premarital counseling. And then the last but not the least is one of the biggest programs that we also run is senior services. It's called Golden Times, and we have a program to bring seniors in our community together to socially get them connected. So it's in-person meetings as well as online yoga sessions and laughing therapy. It's a set of programs all geared towards getting our seniors more connected and making them feel part of the whole community. So that's all of the portfolio of services that we offer. So when a client walks in to our office, you are able to kind of like get them connected to the portfolio of our services, plus also working with partners, getting them connected to other services that our partners may offer. If you move to the next slide. So I want to focus on Issaquah, right? So, so for the, is this Issaquah? Yeah, I think this is overall. So we looked at the data that we had from January to August. This is as of August 30th, right? What types, when people come into our office here, what do they come in most for? So 44.1% of the clients who came in for referrals and information. They don't know where to turn. They don't know where to go for assistance, especially people who are refugees, immigrants. They don't know where to go. So they first stop. They come to our office. We provide them with information and referrals. So that's our 44% of the people that came into our office came for referrals and information. Emergency utility assistance, where we have had clients, seniors who have their electricity shut off and they have an outstanding bill, they have an shut off notice, and we were able to help them with emergency utility assistance. Eviction prevention, 37% of the clients, again, who came in, this is between Jan 1 and August 30th, 37% of the clients came to us for eviction prevention, and we were able to help them. Food and gas cards, about 10% of the clients came to us for food and gas cards. So these are, just kind of like give you a sense of all of how our services break down. And if you kind of like go to the next slide, it's a slice of the same data, but just for the city of Issaquah, we looked at, the demographics of the people who came from the city of Issaquah. What did they come to us for? Almost 70% came to us for referrals and information. They're new to the community. They don't know where to go for help, or they don't know where the food bank is, or they come to us for, hey, where do I go for, get rental assistance? So about 70% of them came for information referrals. 21% came to us with eviction notice that we were able to help. And then food and gas cards, about 6% food and gas cards, and emergency utility assistance. So you can see what the data shows around for the city of Issaquah. Our demographics, people come to us from different cities on the east side, and we were able to help them in different ways. So So I'm going to pause here and open it up for any questions. But before I do that, I'd like to highlight one aspect, right? One of the things that we also do is to empower people. So we in our office we have 2 staff members who are full-time staff members. One of them is an Afghan refugee himself who came in about a few years ago. We were able to. He had great skills. We were able to, give him employment. So he's able to support himself and his family. Plus, some of our part-time staff. They also, one of the part-time staff is was a 23-year-old, again, Afghan girl who came, as a refugee a few years ago, and nowhere to turn to, right? And again, we were able to give her the vocational skills for her to become, productive. So she also works with us. So we have about two full-time staff, and then we have about 3 part-time employees. The rest of them are volunteers, including myself and Nikki, who's the founder and CEO. They're all volunteers, and really we're able to do this with the support of a community, as well as with support of our donors, as well as along with the city of Issaquah, who helps fund some of the programs that we offer. So I'm going to pause here and open it up for any questions.
Thank you so much.
Well, hi, my name is Trish. All I can say is, I hear about MCRC all over the place. Your organization is very well known, and I think has
Thank you.
made a big impact on the east side. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate all your support. We are seeing more and more as rents in this area increase. We're seeing a lot more of challenges with people who are coming with eviction prevention notices. I mean, just in the last 6 months, we've seen a 30% increase in the number of people with eviction notices that are showing up at our offices, and we try to do our best. But we're just seeing, with the rents and the inflation just skyrocketing, we are seeing more and more people facing eviction. So.
Maury Edwards here. If you wanted to access your information at our leisure, could we go to MAPS? Do you have a part of that website?
Yes. Yeah. If you go to mapsredmond.org/MCRC, or go to mcrcseattle.org, that's the easiest. Go to mcrcseattle.org. It'll redirect you to the page, and you will see all of our services here.
Thank you.
Yeah, on that page also, you'll find a link to schedule free the health clinic appointments. You'll see a link to for an assistance request form. Everything is in one place, and a lot more information about how to reach us and how to contact us. And please stop by. We are located in Redmond at the Redmond Together Center. So please stop by. We'd love to host you and show you around and show you a little bit about the work that we do.
Thank you.
I went to your health fair.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
When was that again?
May.
Yeah.
In the May, in the summer, right? Yeah, that was awesome. Yes.
That was great. Yeah.
Great. And we have an upcoming clinic that's coming up this Saturday, actually. So if there's anyone who needs, and this clinic is in a partnership with, other service providers. So we have a free pet clinic too, where people can bring the pets, people who are low income families, who are unhoused. If they have pets that need vaccinations, or if they need any checkup for the pets, we have a section there for pets. We have a free dental clinic, a mobile van where people can come in and get dental checkups done, as well as we have the physical clinic, that you've probably seen, right? Where we have all volunteer doctors who come in and provide the services. We also have a partner organization called Essentials First that'll also be there providing hygiene items and everything else. So yeah, please, if there's a need, that clinic is happening this Saturday. November 18th in Redmond, at a mosque in Redmond.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this evening, because I really
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Please give Nikki our
Nope.
best.
I will. Thank
Good.
you.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Commissioners, what a wonderful full
Yeah,
full
wow.
presentation.
Kept my attention the whole time too.
Hannah, when the gal from the Cultural Bridges was talking, and by the way, they're online. I mean, it's very professional. I'm really impressed. Is there another organization in Issaquah called The Circle?
Yes.
And is that new?
Yes, it is. It was a grassroots organization that the city of Issaquah funded through Human Services grants, and then we're funding them again this year. So I think you missed the presentation. We had, yes, and so they do a lot of cultural navigation services. I'd love to share more about
There
that.
was a link in one of the magazines. I was like, I don't know what this is. So yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
they are
very interesting.
They also do like the Hispanic Heritage Month with Human Services, Dias de los Muertos.
So were they an outcome of Cultural Bridges and the Issaquah Schools Foundation, or more?
Sort of. Alicia Spinner, do you know her?
I don't know that name, no.
She was a staff member. She was the manager at Cultural Bridges, and then earlier this year transitioned full time. She started the circle, just about 2 years ago.
Okay, very interesting.
It's a very new organization.
I missed that.
Now, I don't think we've had a presentation here.
Not from Alicia, no. And so she's been invited, and there's still opportunities. So hopefully I know she loves talking about the circle, so I'm sure she would love to join us. She's very busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Good. I'm glad we got a chance to talk about it. Well, I do want to call out the time. It's 8 o'clock, but we still do have a few items on our agenda. I'll leave it to you all if you would like to continue on and move forward with our agenda items, or if you would like to postpone.
Okay, Gabe.
Oh, I'd like to keep going.
Yeah, because it's postponed, we'll do
Oh,
it
you
till
want to meet
January.
until January?
Yes, it's true. You won't see each other.
Till January. Okay.
You don't have that much left in you.
All right. So Hannah, you're on.
For the
Quarterly
human,
report.
Oh, it's Hannah's turn.
Yeah, we're good to go. Thanks, Danny. All right, Rucker, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Yeah, those presentations were terrific. I appreciate it. Take care.
All right, safe travels. All right, well, I'll make this freaking snappy. So I am going to share my screen here, and really the goal for this presentation here is to just give you all an update on how the Human Services grants quarterly 3 performances. So what we do is every quarter they submit their invoices and reporting to say how many residents they've served that quarter, where they're at with their service units. And so what I do is I pay their invoices as well as monitor them. So.
So you start, now,
Sure.
they get paid quarterly, so they take what we granted them and you divide it by 4, right? And then you pay them quarterly.
Yes, exactly. They certainly do have an option. We give folks an option if they have met their service unit, say Q2, and they met their annual goal, they certainly could invoice for the entire year. So it's a service reimbursement model. We will be talking about advanced payment options. There was just an educational event about that. And so that's something that as a commission, we will be talking more about how to better support some of our nonprofit organizations. But currently we're under the reimbursement model.
I'm just thinking that, every quarter, and it seems they do a lot of work,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to have to put that information out every quarter is, something else to put on their plate, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
I'm
exactly.
glad
Oh,
you
yeah.
mentioned that there's a possibility that they can adjust that.
Yeah. It's definitely in talks, and coming from nonprofit work and being on the other end of having to enter in that data, it is a lot of time taken away from direct service. So it is something that is definitely in conversation of how we can better support some of these organizations. So again, we have 40, I want to talk a little bit, just step back a little bit, just to remind folks of our human services grants. I think these are just some interesting numbers I wanted to share. So this last cycle, we had over $1.3 million in request, and we had an increase from 500,000 the previous cycle to $556,720. As you can see, this is a 40% of what was requested is what we had to give. So as you're thinking about this next cycle, we're going to have a similar issue of there's way more need than what we can offer. So we had 40% of what was asked. You'll also see here that we had 81 total applications. We focused on 42 programs, and so only 52% of those programs received funding. And again, this is just a recap of the human services grants. We had 556,720. We awarded 34 organizations. Of those 34 organizations, there were 42 programs. And what was estimated to be served was just under 5,000 residents. I will say we are well over that already in Q3. And then again, from our human services strategic plan, we kind of categorized the programs in these 4 categories. And you can see how much funding and how many programs went to each category. I won't say the numbers out loud. Any questions here, though? All right. So how did the organizations do in Q3? So what we look on is, are they submitting their reports on time, or are they communicating maybe that they're having some issues and it's going to be late? Are their reports complete? Are there any missing items that require some follow-up? And then we also look at the service unit goal, which I'll go in a little more detail what that means. And then we also have a resident annual goal that we're seeing if they're ultimately at 75%. So what I want to just note here is of the 42 programs, we received 40 of the reports. So the following data is from 40 reports. So again, service units really depend on the program and what's being provided. So for example, if it's a shelter, it's going to be most likely measured in how many number of beds. If it's case management, that can be in 30-minute increments, can be hour increments. It's emergency assistance, financial assistance usually looks like how many households or how many financial assistance were provided. So again, it varies, but it's within the contract. And you can see 92% of these organizations are meeting service unit goal, which is great. And there's still room for those few who are not quite meeting their service goal to increase their numbers. In fact, I am working with those who are not meeting their service unit and making some game plans of basically how do we promote their organization, promote their services, get them connected to other programs here in Issaquah so they can meet those.
And when you say they didn't meet goal, that's not to say that they're making progress towards that goal.
Exactly. Yep, they're making progress towards that goal. We look at, right, we want to see them close to 75% of their annual goal at this point of the year. And then again, that's that reimbursement model that's set up in the contract. And then as far as residents' goals, we just had one organization not meeting residents' goal. And again, I don't think there's going to be concern for them to get to their annual goal. So everyone's doing very well. We were on a little bit later end this year. I saw 88%, which is actually the lowest I've seen, having reports submitted a little bit later. So again, nothing to worry about. But
can you provide like justification as to why it's late, or
There's some organizations saying, hey, we have staff on vacation, that's gonna be late, or, so there's certainly some reasons, or there's some technical issues. And there's sometimes where I have to email them and say, hey, we would love to see a report. I'd love to pay you for your services. So it's just a reminder. And again, I think it's to Manny's point of, this takes a lot of time collecting this data, basically they have to ultimately buy or build a system that
And
can
extract data and.
very much know this. Coming from nonprofit work. So,
Vicious cycle.
At some point too, right? So
yep, exactly.
everybody they're helping, you say, okay, are you, low income, so.
Yeah, commonly I've heard direct service, at least 25% of direct service staff have to have their time for like notes and entering data and that kind of information.
Kind of like the medical industry.
Yeah,
Where you've got all the people that work in insurance and, trying to connect.
Yeah. If it's not documented, it never
No,
happens.
yeah.
That's unfortunately.
Would you say, do most programs, are they having trouble with staffing, or are they doing well with full staffing?
I've seen a little mix of both, and we'll talk
Okay.
about that in some of the challenges. There's definitely some organizations that I think are having a hard time with staffing, especially if it's volunteers. But I will say comparatively, from even a year ago, I would say that's not the common challenge
Okay,
as much.
that's
So
good.
I am seeing a larger improvement. But happy to report we had 100% complete.
Woohoo.
So again, I think it's helpful just to like pull in. So part of their reports, they get to share narratives, which express some of their highlights, their challenges, they share stories. And so I think a few things that I wanted to note here. So Reclaim, if you're familiar, they're a shelter over in Snoqualmie Valley. If you haven't had a chance to visit them, they are just very unique for very low to no barrier shelter for folks. And I think this is a status worth noting. This last quarter, 10 people moved from their shelter into permanent housing. And if anybody knows how difficult it is to get into permanent housing, that's a really big successful number. So huge shout outs to their work that they're doing. And their partnership is with Plymouth Housing, which is a organization that we also work with. And they're a supportive housing in Eastgate. It's a new building. Great housing opportunity.
You all have seen it, right, as you drive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down there all the
Yeah,
time.
they're quite nice units. So
Yeah.
And then again, they noted in their narrative that I'm very excited for them. They received some funding. I know they're working on some expansion for their services. So they have a new permanent supportive housing program that's going to focus on permanent supportive housing for 5 seniors, elderly. And then in addition, they also have funding for transitional housing, who will be primarily working with Native American women in domestic violence situations. So I know that's something they've been working on for a long time. So it's really excited to hear some funding go through for them. So more to come on that. The Issaquah Circle, speaking of, they do again just some incredible services. I mean, they really go into the families' homes. They really build that relationship. And so a couple of things I wanted to highlight that they do in their giving circle, which is basically they have this system where people can request their needs, such as we need hangers, we need a couch, we need a TV, and they kind of help process those donations. They supported 11 families. They registered 13 new families to the food bank, which we are hearing more and more such an increase of food insecurity. And so to hear that is really wonderful. And then also seeing them get families supported with rental assistance with organizations that we also fund. I thought this was an interesting story and says a lot about just who they are. It says, during these months, we helped an individual who had a heart attack. Again, not really in their privy, they're not medical experts. But he felt comfortable to call them at 4 a.m. to ask, can I call 911? What do I do? So they were able to get him the ambulance and probably have some life-saving measures there and get him to the hospital to get him the services that he needs. But we've heard that more and more. If there's anybody who's undocumented or maybe doesn't speak English, they're so afraid of going to the hospital or getting their medical needs. And so the fact that they had somebody that they felt that they could call at 4 a.m. I don't know about any of you. I would not want to be called at 4 a.m. But here they are ready to support them in an emergency like that. So I think that's such a great example of some cultural navigation services that I think clearly saves somebody's life. And then they're always expanding. I feel like they're always innovative, doing new things. And an example in their narrative was English as a second language class. And Spanish classes using Mexican textbooks and play groups for Spanish, English, and Russian. All right, what else do we have? Challenges that we're seeing, I think not a surprise, ultimately just an increase in need. And for the food bank, they're just seeing this overall trend, 35% increase from last year of families accessing their services. Kidvantage, I think, had a similar number that they shared with us that also shows that. They're seeing an increase of reoccurring orders. So the same child is receiving goods more than one time. That went up 40%. And so that is, again, just showing more of that need. Okay, and so where we're at again is in January is when the Q4 reports are due. So sometime in February or March, I do plan to come back to the commission with some more information about some annual updates of overall how did they do it their first year in the cycle. And I think that's it. Perfect. Wonderful. Well, any other questions or anything else? You're still awake. Good.
Okay, I have one question. When you talked about 80, there were 80 programs made requests, 40 programs were funded, but not all of those were funded at 100% of what they requested, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes. We always encourage organizations to just ask what their need is, and we will see where we can meet them.
Okay.
I have a question about the community service, community responders. You had some openings.
Yeah.
Have those been filled?
Yes and no. So we currently have we have Amir Shabana, who's been our behavioral health coordinator for the last 2.5 years. So he's still here, and then 3 open positions. One of them has been filled with Cliff. I met him once. He just started, and he's our behavioral health supervisor.
Okay.
So that position has been filled, and we are currently interviewing for the 2 more positions.
People for him to supervise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So, but we have interviews happening now, so that's really great.
Good
Yeah.
news.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll have an update in January with some good news.
Okay.
It would be nice to have Cliff come to one of our meetings.
Yeah. Maybe in February. I know Monica's going to be here while I'll be on vacation. So she'll be covering for me and giving some updates about the some of our programs. So that could be a great opportunity to meet him. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, well, it's 8:15 now. And I don't really have a chair report. Does anybody want to share anything? This category is chair and commissioner reports. I did not make it to the Day of the Dead.
Yes, yes, it was a wonderful event.
Yes, and I know that Jaime did, and we were hoping Jaime would be here. Yeah.
So that sorry, real quick, our youth report, Preston does not have any updates. He couldn't make it today, but no updates from him. And then our staff report, I certainly can, if there's anything you want me to highlight.
I was just curious, when you say, I noticed you have the dates on here for January and February.
Yeah.
And it are human services staff, so you'll be doing a presentation at each one of those meetings?
So Monica will be, yeah. So Monica will be presenting in January, just an update on the emergency housing program and behavioral health program full response. And then in February, we'll be doing kind of a human services strategic plan implementation update to our council, which means we'll be coming to our commission in January with that agenda item before we go to.
Okay, and then the other things in here, looks like they were just updates regarding upcoming, let's see, education event in December, and then just summaries of past events, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So if you're interested in some of those numbers, emergency rental assistance program, some details on how that funding went, and then just a recap of Dias de los Muertos.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah, yep, yep.
Well, I think we're pretty much almost to the end now. Anything for the good of the order?
Go ahead, Manny.
I think Manny's getting ready to say something.
No,
No.
that's good.
Well, it seems weird to see you next year.
That does seem odd,
I
doesn't
know
it?
everybody has.
Such a quick year.
Yeah. Yeah, just a reminder, we will not be meeting in December. We'll have a recess. And so our next official meeting is January 17th. And you'll be just probably hearing some emails from me, but please don't be shy to say hi or if you have any questions or that.
Okay, those are really interesting reports. I love that, I can't